ready?
I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Rooftop podcast, episode 17.
They say that age kills the fire inside of a man.
And I think, I don't know, last episode I said it was like, I don't even remember, episode 15 or something, and then my guest, I don't know if you say his name's Cordell, He's like, I don't think so, and I was like, I'm pretty sure, and then he was right, so I don't even know what podcast I'm on at this point, but just a quick thing, get out the way. I am building a computer now. I'm like buying the parts and stuff, very expensive, but your boy had to do it because it takes way too long to edit these podcasts on this little Toshiba satellite that I have. So, I mean, it's good I even have a laptop because otherwise I wouldn't even be really doing this. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, build a computer. It'll be here soon, whatever, Cyber Monday.
You know what sucks is that, like, my Toshiba satellite also, like, I've been using it for school and everything, and it just busted. So, like, now it's, like, the flimsiest little dangly piece of shit in the world.
Really?
And, like... So I was in class midway doing a quiz, and then all of a sudden I close my laptop and I hear the loudest. I'm like, what just happened? And I pull it out and it's dangling. The screen is dangling from the keyboard, and I'm at this point I'm just like, should I just toss it? Should I just give it up and go for a better PC?
I've gotten pretty lucky with this one because, well, you can't see it, but you know there's a little vent on the side? Yeah. I stepped on the fucking laptop. I've actually stepped on it a few times, but, like, I do that where you start to feel that you're stepping on something important, and then you just, like, flop your body some way so you don't break it.
Yeah.
That's what I did. So all I did was, like, crack the vent, but we're good now. But anyway, we're having Isaac back on again because, you know, Isaac's awesome. He was here to guess my race. How was that hazelnut spread you got?
That was delicious. Bro, I ate that almost the same day. On the same day.
All of it?
I ate almost all of it.
That's crazy. What do you do with it?
Just put it on toast. I usually just put it on toast and, like, maybe, like, dip, like, what's it? Not like banana chips. No, yeah, banana chips. And I just dip that in, like, hazelnut spread and then just eat it.
See, I don't know. Maybe I'm too afraid to get adventurous with it because, like, my cousin was telling me he puts, like, jelly and makes, like, a Nutella and jelly sandwich. Yeah. And, like, I don't know because I'm not really one for chocolate and fruit because I feel like for those, like, Russell Stover things, they never taste good to me.
The raspberry ones that have, like, the jelly in it?
Yeah, or like there's a strawberry one that is way too sweet. Yeah. There's one with a freaking cherry in it. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, the one with the cherry in it was always terrible.
Yeah,
always bad.
I'm always hesitant to put jelly and chocolate or fruit and chocolate together. But I'll tell you what, jelly on toast is good, and I recently only tried that because I always thought, jelly on toast? Why would you eat a piece of toast with jelly? It's really good, and that's a really simple thing that I should have...
I just watched this video about... it's this, like, YouTube Domics video where they were talking about, like, this girl who eats a peanut butter jelly sandwich, but, like, she eats the jelly sandwich. Like, she has two separate pieces of toast, one with peanut butter, one with jelly, and she eats the peanut butter one whole first, and then the jelly one whole after.
Why?
She doesn't eat it together.
Why?
I don't know. It's like a preference, but, like, that's not a sandwich. But is it a sandwich?
It's two pieces of toast with different condiments on the toast. That's what it is.
But it's all coming to the same place at the end. That's what their argument was, is that at the end of the day, it goes to the same place. So is it technically still a sandwich?
No, because if I eat a fucking bowl of chicken Alfredo and an apple, they're not the same thing because they went to my stomach.
But you don't eat chicken Alfredo and an apple together because the peanut butter and toast and the jelly on toast when you combine them, they're a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
If you had a donut and some ham, did you have a sandwich? You know that, like, breakfast steak ham? Yeah. Did you have, like, a donut sandwich? Like, no, you didn't, dude. You had a donut and no, she's just tripping. She's just tripping way too hard.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not technically a sandwich.
Because you don't even get the taste of a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Because then you're just tasting one peanut butter bread.
Peanut butter toast sounds dry as hell, too.
You need milk after that.
That's some tough stuff, dude.
You need just the separation of peanut butter. Ooh, man.
But, yeah, I would, they're tripping on that. I'm glad you enjoyed your prize, sir.
I did.
I'm thinking about doing something else. I'm gonna have. That was my neighbor Jerry. I just waved at.
Jerry. I go to school with Jerry. I went to high school with Jerry.
You did?
Yes.
You know him?
I know Jerry. Wait, where is he at?
He
Jerry?
just went inside. Oh,
Yeah.
that's his dad.
Jerry. What's up, bro? I know Brandon from work. Yeah.
See, we're making connections on the podcast.
That is crazy. I didn't know you live here. We gotta hang out, bro. All right, man. Later.
See, that's what this podcast is about, dog. Bringing people together.
That's literally
No, dude,
insane.
Let me tell you, dude. I think I've said this on the podcast before, but it is such a small world. Like, it is a tiny world. Like, things like that have been happening to me all the time. Like, at work, did I tell you how many people I know that they might not work there anymore, but, like, they've worked at...
Yeah. At Target.
And, like, I knew them from the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's crazy. Like, I would literally work with someone I went to kindergarten with right now.
Wait,
Alexis, the
yeah?
team lead. Yeah, we went to kindergarten together.
What?
I moved schools in 6th grade. Or, no, in 5th grade. And
so
then,
you guys knew each other up until 5th?
Yeah. And then we just come, and then, she's working with me now.
You guys are working together.
Yeah, and then there's a few other ones I went to middle school with, high school. It's just crazy how small the world is and how many people know each other.
Bro.
Like, I've even had people on the podcast, and forgive me for these dogs barking. My little tiny dog is in the backyard, and there's a German Shepherd wanting to kill him right now.
Yeah, there would be no contact.
Yeah, that would be a sad sight. But, yeah. But like I was saying, yeah, it's just such a small world. Like, people I've even had on the podcast and be like, oh, I know that dude. Or they, like, follow each other on Instagram or whatever it is. And it's just crazy.
It's ridiculous.
And that's what I really want this podcast to be about. Like, I talked to a few people about this and sort of mentioned it in the podcast I had with Kevon and Scaff, his buddy.
That was so
Is
dope.
that I like this podcast is like, I say like a lot. Forgive me. I'm not.
No.
I didn't go to newscaster school, and I'm trying to like. There's little things that I'm trying to get out of my vocabulary, like saying like.
No,
I do it way too much.
There's like, no, I'm getting it too.
Yeah, it's contagious.
It's that like problem of like habitual speech impediments that just keep happening. Like, I know it's like when you can't find the word, you just have to say something instead of like or like or.
And you should really just like pause.
Yeah, or something like that.
It's more suspenseful. But what I was saying, the podcast, what I want to do with it is I want to make, like, I said it again, damn it. The podcast is to get people to meet other people, and especially for like, damn it, especially for Arizona. Especially for Arizona, because I feel like we don't have a community out here such like, I'm gonna murder myself, but the Bay Area, for example, there's always people talking about, oh, I came up from the Bay, the scene in the Bay, or out in LA it's Hollywood or this and that, which I don't think there's really much of a like Hollywood scene where all these actors are trying to lift each other up, you know what I'm saying? But I want to make Arizona that spot because I feel like everyone who comes from Arizona is always trying to, we mentioned this in the last podcast, but be someone else from another country. And obviously that's not like everyone on the street because not everyone wants to be a rapper or this and that.
Right.
But for the people who are trying to be creative, make a creative career path and do something creative with their life so they don't have to work like a 9-to-5 or whatever, we need other people in our communities to lift us up, and I just feel like we don't have that in Arizona. Like David, you know David and Market.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna have him and his buddy on he's Bass Crooks because he makes music.
Yeah.
And his buddy is Haji Blaze.
Oh shit.
They're releasing an album here soon, so stay tuned if you're fans of them, or you might be after the podcast. Who knows?
Yeah.
But just, like, there's so many people out there that make music in the community, and he was saying that everyone out here, and I'm not too far into the scene of the rap game in Arizona or this and that. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's gems, people... there's gems everywhere. It's just people don't always get the exposure, or something happens to them, they get discouraged, or people step on them. And he was saying it's like that out here in Arizona, and I'm sure that every state has their own problems like that. But he was saying that Arizona's a bunch of crabs in a barrel. Everyone's pulling at each other, doing anything to just get to the top.
Yeah.
And all it takes is one of us to blow up. Like, the biggest guy is probably Futuristic, from a few years ago.
Yeah, honestly.
And he's kind of faded. And from what I was told is because he kind of did that. You stepped on some people along the way to get where he was, and no one supported him anymore. And ultimately, that's what you need is your hometown to back you, because they're going to back you when no one else is.
You get bigger.
You know what I'm saying? Because everyone wants to say, oh, he's from my hometown, I can make it. But I feel not no one, because we've had some big names, but for this, for the current zeitgeist, you know, time and culture, we haven't really had anyone. We had MC Magic back in the day. Shout out to the homie MC Magic, you know what I'm saying?
Bless.
Jordan Sparks, but that was, you know, a short little run. People know who she is, but, you know, it's not like Bruno Mars or whatever.
Right.
And then
like B-list celebrities.
And before then, it was like, I want to say Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. She's from Arizona. And I don't know if you know who this is, but his name is Marty Robbins.
No.
Country guy. His music was in Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah?
Yeah. But he's from Arizona. But they're not really this generation, you know, and especially as far as music goes, people don't want to, or they don't really listen to a lot of that music. They listen to Fleetwood Mac, MC Magic, you know, Chicana rap is kind of a real niche, you know what I'm saying?
Only
and Marty Robbins would be too. I just want to build a community to where all these creators in Arizona, and it can branch out, you know, it really doesn't matter, but I want to make a community here where people can say, you know, I don't have to go to LA and be broke, dead broke, eating ramen, or whatever. I mean, you
like
might
all
eat
the stories
ramen
about people trying to, like, you know, migrate to LA to like start a new life and like pursue this career in music or like fame and industry and like movie production and stuff like that. They like every single story always starts with like, I was dirt broke living in like the Queens or like living somewhere in New York or going to LA and living somewhere in like Malibu and just trying to start there. Crazy. Like how do people just like give up everything and just start a new life? That's what's always like the pressure and the scariest part of starting something new.
And a lot of them don't even make it. It's just the big success stories that you hear. And I want kids from, not saying that we're not kids or me, and I'm only, you know, 20. So like in the eyes of the world, I'd be like a kid, you know what I'm saying? But I want to inspire other younger people and younger kids to look at the community that I'm trying to build. It doesn't have to be just music. It could be, I'm an actor, I make short films, and I do skits. That's the same thing, but you know, I just do different creative things. Like First Friday, I wanted to do a podcast of First Friday. That would be so awesome. Because there's so many good people out here, but everyone just is worried about themselves. And not that that's wrong, but you got to help build up your community, because no one right now is going out their way to look up, you know, Arizona rap or the Arizona art scene or Arizona this and that.
What's funny is the ex AP member Cal, he like, you know how he started his whole Color 8 band, and like before I met him at Target, like I used to go to First Friday and I'd always see him in his band like perform those like super dope ragers and stuff like that. And like then I met him at work and I was like, bro, you're the guitarist. Like, that's crazy. He's like, yeah, man, I'm just, you know, I'm doing this as like a side gig, but I'm like trying to see if I can make it bigger. And then eventually, like, he like partnered with Futuristic and like got that whole like record deal set up where he's like with Futuristic, and I think he's got like a record label or some record company he works with, and they like partnered with him, and they were doing like a whole bunch of projects with Futuristic, and it was crazy. I was so proud of them. Yeah.
And it's awesome. That's what it is. It's awesome to see someone from your hometown. You're much more likely to go support like even no matter how small they are. If you just meet them in person, someone trying to make it in your hometown, like, oh, I work with my coworker, he's trying to make it. Yeah, I'll carve out a few hours my busy week to go see him because he's from my hometown. I want someone to pop off. You know, I'm not going to go see someone who's, not that I won't, but I'm more hard-pressed to see a smaller person from California or something. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not from there. That's just what I want to do. I want to bring as many creators from Arizona and build our own culture out here. You know, we don't need, not that it's a bad thing to have other cultures in your hometown, because everyone learns from everything. You take this and that. I mean, that's what America is, a big melting pot. You know what I'm saying? But I just want us to have our own culture, like New York. Well, New York has a big culture.
Yeah, New
but,
York has a big melting pot there too.
like New Orleans or the Bay Area or this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, why can't Arizona be that, or Phoenix? Because that's where we are. You know, it's just that's what I want to do the podcast. Bring everyone together, expose people, especially in your hometown, and then everyone can see, oh, shoot, that guy's pretty cool. Let's work together. Or, hey, I can hop on this podcast, get my name out there, and people can come work with me.
It'd be crazy.
It'd be awesome. It'd
be
be
crazy
real
if
awesome.
people were like in raps, like mainstream rap songs, and just be like shout out to AZ.
Yeah.
Like, ridiculous. Like,
yeah,
hearing that on
like
the radio.
Travis Scott or
yeah,
something.
just like straight up.
Or like, it doesn't
Laugh
even have to be
amazing.
just straight music, because it could be an artist links up with a musician to make their album cover. There's so many possibilities with it, and there's so many talented people in Arizona, and I just wanna highlight that, because you go to First Friday and you see things like that, or you see art around town, you're like, that's pretty good,
Even the artists, like all the contemporary museums that are over there too, they're super dope. Like, I've seen a couple paintings where I've just been like, I need to buy it.
Mhm.
Like, I'm gonna buy it. So then I just like take the last couple, because I think it's like they sell multiple copies, and they have like shorter like frames and everything. But like there's like points where you can buy the actual ones that are like right on display. And some people have actually bought like straight up, like, I'll buy it for $1,000. Just buy it straight up, and I'm just walking, like, they're walking out of this museum. I'm like, is this on auction or something? Like,
Yeah.
you guys walking out of here like selling this art like straight up right now? You guys didn't even think about it, just made the deal. But it's crazy how like so many people are like making so much like amazing art, and they're not like out there enough. But they can definitely get that potential if they just like put their stuff out there, and not just with First Friday. I think what needs to happen, I think, in my opinion, would be like more events like First Friday.
Yeah.
So things like, if we use like the Phoenix Convention Center for like some sort of like huge like creator con or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Where people can just like have ideas to make stuff, and they could just sit for like 2 hours and show the world like what they have to offer.
That'd be freaking awesome. And oh god, I have so many things to say about this, but yeah, that's basically what this podcast. I want people to come together, Arizona to lift itself up, and make it somewhere that you don't have to be like, oh, I have to go to New York to get exposure. No, I can get exposure in my hometown. I mean, it's the 6th biggest city in the United States. Why can't we have a huge culture like that and have a huge scene? Like, there's no reason. We just got to bring ourselves together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Except no one wants to say that they came from a desert or anything.
Yeah, which makes no sense. Why the fuck does it matter if you live in a desert? But okay, I don't understand that. But it's stupid things like that we just got to get over.
Yeah.
But if you want to be on the Rooftop podcast and I don't know how much I can get your name out there right now, but as long as we all spread our episodes and stuff, if you're on it, if you're not on it, help someone else out, because I'm here every episode, but like Scaff and Kevon were not here every episode, and you can help them out by spreading it.
Yeah.
So
they're selling their merch. If you guys want to buy their merch, they're plugging it up. Yeah, they're doing pretty good.
It's just supporting your hometown. You know what I'm saying? And all it is clicking the share button.
All it takes is a share and a like.
You may have 200 friends, but only 2 of them click on it. Yeah. Whatever. That's 2 people that didn't see it before.
And then those people who have those connections that you don't have, they'll find out about it, and then from there they might share it. It's all probability, but it's that percent of a chance that could definitely save somebody some clout.
Yeah. Wow, that was like something I was not expecting to talk about. I mean, I wanted to talk about it. I just didn't. I kind of forgot about it, and it came up in the moment.
Unscripted, completely ad lib.
But yeah. What we really wanted to talk today, just contact me on social media. Hit me up with a comment or a message on YouTube. Podcast Rooftop on Twitter, and Rooftop Podcast on Facebook. Yes. So that's where you can hit me up if you want to be on it. And if your friends see it and want to be on it, get us in touch. It'd be awesome. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is a scam. A big old legal scam, dude.
These Ponzi schemes.
And you were offered this scam as well.
I was.
So one of our mutual friends, we're not going to say the name or anything, obviously.
We'll keep it confidential.
I hope he's not part of it anymore. I told him to get out of it, because I knew what it was, and he was, he's big enough into it that he like went out his way to try to get us into it. So
yeah, he contacted both of us, but
mm-hmm.
Like you said, you tried to talk him out of it, but you get to that
Mm-hmm.
point of the month period where you're just like, maybe like let me at least try it, see how
Yeah.
it goes. So like
Mm-hmm.
give it some chances.
So what we got pitched was a multi-level marketing company. If you don't know what that is, that's what Herbalife, Amway, the company we got pitched is called USANA, and there's tons of them out there. There are tons of them. They're all legal scams, legal pyramid schemes, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
You have to sell so much product to make your money back, and you have to market the product, like go out there and try to get people to buy it. Make sure they're recurring customers, or you have to get more people to sign up to do that. You basically want to do both if you want to maximize your money.
Yes.
But it's way, 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 way too hard to do any of that, and you have to buy your own product.
Yeah.
So you have to buy your own product to stock that.
Like they don't provide anything for you.
No.
You have to buy it out of pocket, or you either like have to have your friends and yourself collect an amount of money, so that way you can have the product that you sell to those people that you will be selling to for the rest of the month or the year, up until you get to a certain point where you're at this top of the bracket, while everyone that you're working for or everyone that works for you makes the same process happen.
Yeah. And you have to buy it so often, right, to still remain part of the company or whatever.
I think if you like reach a certain point, like you get more and pay less.
Yeah.
But either way, it's
the way they pitch. Okay, so the way it started for me was he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, I started my own business. I just want to talk to you about it and see if you might want to join me." And I was like, "Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. He started his own business. Wow, this is not what I thought."
I was like, "Wow, that's a very like amazing advancement out of nowhere."
I was expecting it to be like an online thing and nothing like huge. Like I knew I was not going to get into anything huge.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't expecting a multi-level marketing thing. That's not what I was expecting. And I was like, man, now I sat through this. So he got me to go on a conference call with him and his coach.
Yeah.
The master scammer.
The mastermind.
That's pretty
behind
much
it
what
all.
it is. She said she was making like $4,000 a month off of this, which is crazy if that's true. Which she got a lot of suckers. And to be fair, she was a good-looking young woman, so I'm sure she got plenty of dudes that, just wanted to talk to a girl, So, yeah, she was telling me this, and they went through the whole. I don't know if you got this call. Did you get a call from them?
No, I mean, as far as like what he texted me, like I told him straight up, I was like, "Hey, I'm not interested, but thank you though. I appreciate the offer." But he was like telling me, if you ever are, like I could definitely hook you up with the person who brought me into this. And I was like, well, not really. So I didn't really get any phone calls or anything after that. So, but I know you.
Yeah. So maybe he learned from you not to like tell exactly what it was on the first call, because he didn't tell me what it was. He like said, "Can I call you?" I was like, "Sure." So they called me, and she went through this whole slide about the company. It was founded by some kind of scientist or whatever, and she was showing me the product, showing me the people who like endorse the product, like boxers and stuff. Yeah. She showed me. She's like, "Do you know Manny Pacquiao?" I was like, "Yeah, I know Manny Pacquiao." The funny part was, she asked me like
as if you didn't know.
Yeah, like everyone knows who Manny Pacquiao is. She was like, "Oh, really? Wow." I was like, "What?
You know Manny Pacquiao?
Just like one of the most famous boxers of all time. What the hell?" Anyway, yeah, and so I had already like done some I had already done some research on the company before, just on stocks and stuff, because I was like, well, if I'm actually investing in this company, I want to know how it's doing. Like I didn't know how it worked yet, but I just looked at the stock prices. I looked at different things, how the company was doing overall, and I was going to bring it up to. Did you do it?
I don't know.
No, you didn't. You got lucky.
There's a little piece of bird shit right here, so
yeah,
we're making sure we don't touch it.
But I got lucky, or hold on, I don't know where my thought went. So I just looked it up, and I wanted to make sure to bring things up to her that I saw how the company was doing overall. I never really brought those up. So first she showed me the products and what they were doing. And like as she was talking to me, I was looking up like the effectiveness of these things and that. And I learned that a lot of these supplements, they're not even tested for like effectiveness by the FDA or whatever.
They're not FDA approved? Like
they're so what I saw was that they're FDA approved to make the supplements. So
Okay.
I guess the supplements are safe, that they won't kill you, but they haven't been tested to show that they're effective. I guess
so
to where
if they're like actually promising.
if they actually do anything.
Okay.
So
they might just actually be pills, like with absolutely nothing in them.
So I was like, well, that makes sense. Okay. So at this point, I was like, I'm not in this for the aspect that, because, okay, so I'm still hurting for money, you know what I'm saying? But I was in a little worse of a spot. I'm about to be back in this spot after this PC, but I was in this spot, and I was like, to the point where I was looking for side gigs on Facebook and stuff, and one of them was like, wrap your car in a Monster thing and get $200 a week for however long you have it on your car. And I was like, obviously this was too good to be true, but your boy was like, I need money. Maybe this is real, you know?
Might need to take it.
So I texted him, and it was really, he's like, hi, this is Mike Phillips with whatever. And I looked at the Facebook profile that was trying to get me to do this. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure this is someone just trying to get my money for a rap or something. So I almost did it. Like I texted them, and then I just didn't respond after they texted me back. I was like, no, we're not going to do this.
Okay.
But anyway, that's kind of the reason I also took this. It was to support my friend, was also, hey, I might make some money that I need right now.
Were they adamant about it? Were they like coming up to you and be like, hey man, like did you still want to do it or blah blah blah?
The rap or
the rap?
No, this was online. Like I just texted them.
Completely.
Yeah, so good thing I had no strings attached. But so at this point I wasn't invested in like these products work. So I was like, I can't really go out and sell these products that they're going to work and really have any science to back it up.
When not only do we not know if they work, that
so obviously I knew that if I was going to go out and sell them, that I'd be bullshitting people.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to know if I was going to be bullshitting people, is it going to work? Like, how is this company working, and what do I have to do, and is it a good investment of my time and my money, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so they went through it, and she gets to the structure of how things work, and this is where it's classic multi-level marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you get points. You get points for adding people to your team. So this is why we say the multi-level marketing is basically a big pyramid scheme, because literally what you're doing is building a pyramid. You're the top dude,
literally,
and you're branching out to more people on the bottom. It's a pyramid.
It's built like a pyramid.
In fact, she showed me her own team and how it worked out. I think I showed you the picture.
Yeah, you showed me the picture.
So I was on this video call, and she like showed me like her diagram of how like her team worked out, with her on the top and her team on the bottom and the branches and everything. Like a perfect pyramid. Like, you're so stupid for doing this.
Literally built exactly like a pyramid, and she tried to fight the case that it wasn't.
Yeah. The picture will be up right now, and you guys can see, like, this is not how you sell. You have to be really stupid. No offense to our friend, but if she showed him this picture, come on, dude. Like, that was a ding-dong moment on your part. Come on.
He must have not have seen the picture. Maybe he didn't ask if what her team structure was like.
Also, he might not even know what a pyramid scheme is, to be fair. So I don't know.
That's very true. I mean, I was in the same boat. Like I can't say I'm like completely oblivious, or not completely oblivious, because I fell for the same thing for like almost a solid month. So. Oh
yeah, we'll talk about that after. This is what you were telling me before.
Yes.
Okay. See, multiple pyramid schemes. But yeah, so the way you get it is you get the more people under you. Man, I'm gassy, dude. I'm about to burp again. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. But you get more people under you, and they sell products. And depending on the product, there's a certain point amount to each
person.
To each product they sell.
Oh, okay.
And so every time they sell a product, at the end of the week or whatever, they add up the points of all your team members and everything they sold, and you get all the points of the people on your team.
Okay.
Okay, so that all goes up, and they all get their own points, and they get the points of people they sign up. And so it's some like decimal amount of however many points equals $1. And so you get like, I think it was 20% of the amount of the points you have is turned into $1 amount or something.
Yeah.
It's real complicated like that on purpose, of course. so they can just get you to sign up and think you're gonna make money with all these random ass numbers that really don't make any sense.
I love how when they show like what they show you first before they show you the conversion of how to make the money, they show you all the people who have been successful with it, or at least they show you the people who have made it, and they show you like all the people in their inspirational stories and their speeches about like how this company has saved them from all this stuff and how they built it up and how it only took them maybe like 6 years, 2 years, something like that. And the number gets shorter in time, and they're always like, it only took me 6 months to get where I am. You can do the same. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, her story was that she was from the Philippines, worked with like special needs kids, and now she's from the Philippines. She moved to Canada for some reason. Okay.
I'm assuming to not be in the Philippines.
So this story is going to be partially right, because I can't remember every exact detail. She is from the Philippines, and she worked with special need kids either in the Philippines or in Canada, which is where she's at now.
Okay.
And she needed extra money, so then she started doing USANA. Now she's making like $4,000 a month or whatever just from USANA.
How does somebody's default option in life, like immediately coming into a place, is just like, let's sign up for a pyramid scheme?
Dude, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But yeah, so she gave me this real cool story about how she's such a good person, and now she's making so much money with USANA or whatever. And she was telling me about her brother who's making $5,000 a month now, and yeah, he's doing so much better. Just to your point.
Nepotism.
Yes. But so she showed me all the points, and I was doing some math, and I was like, this makes no sense. Like, how does this company make any money if, number one, first of all, she said I wasn't going to be selling anything. There's no way I'm not going to be selling anything, because there's no way I'm going to get points if I'm not selling anything, and I'm going to have to buy these things that I'm selling or whatever. But for some reason, she just kept telling me I wasn't going to have to buy anything, and I could just sign people up. Because her whole point, I guess, was that we're not salesmen. I was like, okay, well, if all we do is sign people up and none of the people that we sign up are selling anything, we're not going to get anything. So, yes, we are salespeople because we're trying to sell a product
at the end of the
and
day.
Get these points. And I can't remember the exact calculations because this was a while ago, but it was just the points you sold, the amount of product you sold and the points and everything that worked out to the amount of money you got. I was just like, how is this company making any money like this? There has got to be a catch. And she's like, no catch. You know, USANA is a very giving company and treats its associates or whatever.
Associate equal. Everyone makes it alive.
That's what makes this product so great. And I was like, okay, this makes zero sense right now. Like, there is something happening that you're just not telling me because there's literally no money to be made from this company. So I just don't know what's going on. Because she was like, well, there's still the other half of the team. Because you get 2 teams, I guess. And if
you get 2?
Yeah, you get 2 teams. And if you're really good, you get 3 teams. Ooh. She had 3 teams, dude.
Oh, shit. She's making net worth.
Yes. And so she's like, well, there's still another half of the team. Like, you're still one of your teams that, you know, you don't get the money for the points that equals money or whatever. And I was like, okay, but there's still a person who's at the top of that team who had to sign up all these people who's getting money for that.
There's a recruiter who got her into the business. That definitely got her into her team.
I was like, so there's money being made at every level in this, no matter how big or small. And like, if these numbers you're telling me were real, or the math I'm doing was real, say we sold that much of some bullshit ass supplement, you know. But if that was real, like, where is the money to be made for this company? I don't understand where the money is, how this works. And so she never really explained that to me. And so I was like, this doesn't make any sense, dude. I don't know if I can. And so it was just that whole thing. I was just kept asking her about these numbers, all these good questions, and she really, I was really grilling her with some good fucking questions, dude, because I'm not no dumbass. No offense to our friend. I watch a lot of random ass YouTube videos about random ass different things, and so I was wise to what was happening. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He might not have been. And excuse me. And so I just kept grilling her, and she's like, "Wow, I love your friend. He's asking some really good questions here." And so
did she always just try to like reflect the question into something else, into a different
or
direction?
like not really fully answer it, or she's like, you know what, I don't know, I'm gonna have to check on that though. And so I just kept like, basically I told him that it was a pyramid scheme. So she's like, so at the end or whatever, me grilling her
It's
all
very
these questions.
ballsy of you for you to like go up to her and be like, "Hey, this definitely sounds like a pyramid scheme."
Oh no, I told him it was a pyramid
Right.
scheme. Like I didn't say this sounds like. I told him that
Like,
it was.
This is a pyramid scheme.
Because it is. It's a legal pyramid scheme. And especially because this is on the internet. Like, it's not like she's going to come up there and, like, get in my face or whatever. Like, This is on the internet anyway.
Right, the company's already out there.
I mean, I would have said it in person anyway, is what the fuck are you going to do? But so she's like, okay, well, now that you heard everything about the company, what do you think? I was like, you want me to be brutally honest? Like, that's what I said. And she's like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, this is a pyramid scheme. So I was like, and she's like, okay, what makes you think it's a pyramid scheme? I was like, just the way it's set up. I was like, well, literally it's set up like a pyramid. I was like, I don't know if you know this, but the picture you showed me was set up in a pyramid. And she's like, oh, well, no. That's just how I set up my team to make it organized.
My God.
I was like, yeah, in a pyramid for a reason.
For a reason.
And I was like,
efficient for you.
I was like, I don't want to be part of this because there's no way I'm going to make any money like this. Obviously, you have to sign up a bunch of suckers. I'm not going to waste my time like that.
You know.
And so I was like, and I would advise my friend to leave this. This is not worth his time. He's going to be wasting his money, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, okay, thank you for being honest, this and that. And she's like, sorry for keep saying like. I just in my brain, I keep hearing myself do it. She just said, well, let me she just went on this weird explanation that it's not a pyramid scheme. And she understands why I feel that and this and that. And then I was like, well, yeah, I mean, you can say that, but it's a pyramid scheme and this and that. It basically was an awkward end to the phone call because she's like, okay, you have a good day. And just to reiterate, she literally said this. She's like, just to, remind you, it's not a pyramid scheme. And I was like, okay, well, we're not going to agree on that, but you have a good day.
Oh my God.
And then said bye to our friend or whatever. And
she felt attacked.
Yeah, I was like, that was that. I was like, how do you... Like, you have to know that you're in a pyramid scheme right now, and you're just bullshitting me. Like, I called you out on it, and you're still trying to lie to me.
Right. Like,
don't sign up for multi-level marketing. Yes, it is possible to make money off multi-level marketing schemes.
Right.
But you, literally have to give up your whole entire life. Dedicate it. Be broke.
50, 60 years into this mission in life. To
sign up a bunch of fucking suckers, or just happen to find people who are as determined as you have to be, which is
rare.
crazy amount of determination to go out there and sell things like this, especially with the internet shopping and everything. People are not going to want you to,
like Amazon and
people are not going to want you to come in their house and try to sell this to you and get you to do with this.
Yeah. Especially if the products aren't even known. Like, if you don't even know the product, then half the time nobody's going to buy a product that they don't even know about. If they haven't heard of the name, it's never gonna get any clearance, so nobody's gonna buy it, even if it's on sale, compared to the leading brands.
And even once people have heard of Herbalife, excuse me, that's just the biggest scam as well, and that has a big name. People know what that is. People don't buy that shit for a reason. And these companies really don't care about the people who fell for their scam either. Herbalife has this big thing where people buy their products to sell it in thousands of dollars. They go broke, and it's just, don't get involved with that shit. And be smart, dude. If it's in the shape of a pyramid,
don't go.
It's a pyramid scheme.
Don't go for it.
Just draw it out, really. All you had to do was draw it out. And it's funny, they actually showed me a graph of how things broke down before she showed me her pyramid scheme. They had this weird way of how it broke down. And so they broke it down to where they basically split the pyramid in half and then moved the biggest thing to the top to where it looked like a big square. I was like, this is the most bullshit way. You made it look not like a pyramid scheme. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I had to sit through probably an hour and a half of that shit, just waiting for it. But yeah.
That is tough.
Yeah, dude.
Sitting through meetings and meetings, so. My experience is no different as far as our friends, but a couple other people from Target also got hit up with the same proposition
from USANA or
They didn't tell me from where, but they told me that people come up to them and say like, "Hey,
Oh,
are you
this is the
looking
dude
for
you're
a
talking
different?"
about?
Yeah, like, "Hey, are you looking for a different like financial venture? Are you looking for an extra source of income? Blah blah blah. Are you tired of this job?" Like they always come up in these business suits. They're always like soliciting this like business, which is crazy because like they can't do that in Target. But like, and I found this out through AP. Like if people come up to you and try to solicitate like a business venture type thing, like you're allowed to like say no and like call AP and like have them be escorted, which is crazy.
It's really sad. Okay, side note, don't report me to your boss, but okay, so so one day, the Jersey Mike's that's across the street, the GM came in, and I was working in the grocery section, and he came in, handed me a handful. He's like, "Hey, I got some $2 off coupons for." Dude, it was like a fat stack of like this many coupons. He's like, just put on like your lunch table or whatever if you want, and have like your coworkers just grab some. Guys, come by, get some discounted sandwiches or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. And so I was like, all right. I went to the break room. I put it on the table, and I was like, hey, boss lady. I don't want to say their name. Hey, boss lady, and boss guy.
Yeah.
The Jersey Mike guys came in and they just gave us a bunch of coupons and I put them all on the table so we can have discounts on our sandwiches or whatever.
Nice. Free $2 off.
And she's like, "Oh, actually, you're gonna have to throw all those away because that's soliciting and we can't." She's like, "You can take a few if you want, but we can't have people soliciting. So just take a few and throw them away if you want." And I was like,
Really?
"What?"
Like, all of them are gone.
Yeah, and I was like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "Yeah, it's sad. I really like Jersey Mike's too."
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah, I mean it's good too because Jersey Mike's is
Jersey
fucking
Mike's
expensive.
Is expensive, but they have really good sandwiches.
So I went back in the break room, I grabbed them all. I just slammed the lid to the trash can to make it sound like I threw them away, and I took all of them, dude. I have all of them. That poor Jersey Mike's GM and I haven't used any of them. That poor Jersey Mike's GM is probably like, what the fuck? I gave out like 600 coupons and no one's come in.
I remember I was at the door and you gave me one, and I was like, "Where did you get all these coupons?" You're like, "Yeah, some dude from Jersey Mike's just gave me a whole bunch of coupons."
Did I give you just one?
Yeah, you gave me one.
Dude, I have a ton more if you want to. Like, I'm telling you.
I haven't used the one you gave me yet. It's still in my room.
It was like a business card coupons stack of them like this thick, dude. And like, I'm telling you, I had so many. I gave like 50 to everyone I knew. So yeah, it's just really sad. Don't waste your time and give like coupons to Target people because they'll have to throw it away and you might not run into everyone like me who keeps your coupons. So yeah. I was not going to throw away that much money in discounted sandwiches, okay?
Right. Like
that's just when it went against who I am as a person, dude.
To refuse coupons?
Fuck no.
Like no. Like especially if it's like a $13 sandwich, you get $2 off. It's a nice deal. It's a nice deal.
I mean, it's still an expensive sandwich, but $2 off is $2 off. And that's also, I was like,
use that towards a drink.
And I was also like, that's a lot of wasted paper. I'm not about to do
yeah,
that.
all those coupons.
The earth is burning. Like I'm not throwing all these away right now.
It's a waste to go and throw these away. I'd rather have them be used on with people that are actually going to buy a sandwich.
Good for the economy too, you know.
Which is weird because
it's not like we sell sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, the nearest Jersey Mike's is the one near that Chipotle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was like trying to like figure out. I was like, where is there a Jersey Mike's near the area that we were working at? Or like the Target.
Yeah.
It's like because the only Jersey Mike's that I've ever been to is the one on 51st. But that one, it's not bad. I would say that their sandwiches are subpar.
Subpar?
Yeah.
Oof. It's no wonder that coupon wasn't used.
Yeah, it's tough.
But sorry, I just had to get that out of the way.
I get it.
Go ahead about your soliciting thing.
So, yeah, a couple other people from Target got the same like proposition to like come in like see this business venture with these people, and I got the same thing. I was working in a different department at the time, but when I was asked, this guy came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, like if you want, like I can get your phone number and we can like meet up at a Starbucks and we can just talk it out." I was like, I'll see what this guy has to offer. I'll give him the time of day. So I gave him my phone number, and he immediately calls me after work, and he's like, "Hey man, like do you want to meet at a Starbucks Monday?" And I was like, "Cool." And I met him at the Starbucks, and he started talking about like the way he built up his repertoire at this company, and he was just telling me all the stuff he's done, all the stuff he's like been doing with the company, the stuff he did before the company, how he found out about it, and like how he's been living so far with the company. And all of it sounded great. It sounded like those like cheesy stories where it's just like, oh yeah, like I was down in the dumps. I was, just getting, because he was like, I just got out of the army, coming back. I couldn't find a job because it was tough out here. And I found these guys and they said like, hey, if you build up your, if you build up your business and, you find all these people and all these advancements, you can make it. And he was like, yeah, I'm making 6 figures in a month. It's like every month I'm making 6 figures. I'm like, wow,
every month.
That's what he told me. That's what he told me. And my girlfriend at the time, I was telling her about it. And I was like, should I? And she was like, and I was thinking like, I actually should, but she was like, no, don't do it. That sounds terrible. But I still went for it. I was dumb. And I kept going. And up until about like 2 weeks in, I asked him, I was like, so what's the name of the company? And he's like, see, that's a good question. But before we do that, let's talk about how our business statement's going to look. I was like, what the hell? Why won't you tell me the name of the company? And I was like, okay, let me ask him a different question. I was like, because he was starting to tell me about like the products he sells and like how he gets them, and like, or not how he gets them, just like what types of products he sells. And I was like, okay, cool. What's the name of the company that makes those products? He was like, see, that's the kind of question you would ask when you're further into the program. I was like, what? Why can't you just tell me? It's not that confidential. I'm not going to do anything with it. Like, you guys own that company. I'm one simple human being who can't do anything with that information. But I let it be. I let it just sit with them. And, like, I was talking to a whole bunch of people about it and trying to figure out, like, hey, like, what do you guys think about it? And after a while, I started talking to a friend of mine from, like, high school. We were in some class in college, and he was like, so what's the name of the company? He's like, I don't know. Like, what do they sell? I don't know. And he was like, well, don't you think if you've been talking to somebody for about 2 or 3 weeks and they're not telling you the name of the company and or the products that they're selling, that's a bad sign? I was like, yeah. I should probably, not put any commitment towards this company at all. But I still went for it. I just wanted to at least dip my feet into the water and see what that looks like. And I went to one of these big meetings, like one of the like big suit and tie meetings where they were just like, they rented out like a Holiday Inn and like a conference room, and they were all there. Yeah, it was crazy. All these guys showed up, and there was this head honcho guy. There's like these ranks where they're classified by gems. Like, there's the ruby class, there's the emerald class, diamond, platinum,
double black diamond.
Yeah, something crazy. And like once you reach diamond, that's when like you're done. Like you don't have to do any work. Pretty much all the people and the members that you have in your team below you are doing so much that you don't actually have to do anything. You can just let them do the work, and you create enough income to just do whatever you want.
Which is like no bigger than a giant conglomerate. So
it's exactly the precipice of that pyramid. That's where everyone wanted to be. That's the diamond. That's the platinum. That's the whole shindig of their whole company. And it's crazy because that's the meeting where I figured out the name. Amway.
Amway. Oh my God. Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. I was like, this is it. This is the pyramid scheme. I was like, I need it. I'm like sweating in this like room where I'm just like, I cannot commit to anything in this room. And I'm talking to all these people, and they're like, we're so glad you're a part of the team. I was like,
no,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. Oh shit. So
at the end of the day, the guy tells me, he's like, hey, so we're having one of the biggest meetings like in November, and you need to put $350 up front for like transportation, for
like why can't I just transport myself,
like, why, like if you guys are like trying to recruit me, then wouldn't it be nice if you guys paid for me so that way I can at least experience this for free? He was like, well, it's a very expensive occasion, and not everybody's paying for it, and plus others like you are going to be there, so we don't want to give that fair experience. And I was like, okay, well, I'll think about it. And he was like, okay, well, just hit me up when you're ready. And then I didn't hit him up at all.
Did he ever like text you like, hey, what's going on?
I still see him at this Target. He still shows up every week. Like, I almost see him.
What does he look like?
He's He's a fairly like tan dude. He's what does he look like? He's almost your height, and he's got like a very like crooked smile almost. Like, and whenever you see him,
does he look shady?
No. He looks like the type of guy who you wouldn't think would be in a pyramid scheme, but it's crazy. It's like, I don't know how to describe.
How come you guys? So you guys kick solicitors out, right?
Yeah.
So how come you guys don't kick him out? If
That's the thing, because I didn't know we can until like recently. I just found out that we're able to kick out like solicitors who are like trying to find like financial partners, because that's a form of solicitation. And it's crazy because while I was off the clock, I was with a friend of mine at the parking lot, and this guy who's probably a part of a different pyramid scheme came up to us and he was like, "Hey guys, you guys looking for anything? You guys trying to find a new like venture in life, a new financial career investment? Are you guys trying to like not work for anybody?"
Big money words,
right? And he was like, he's like, you know, like I've got this guy. He was like, he retired at the age of like 23, and he's living his best life, and I just want everyone else to do the same. It's like, if you guys like want
So why are you here?
I know. I was like, why are you at a Target parking lot?
He's
Dressed
23. Well, how old are you?
This man was 27, and he's practically
Yeah.
doing the same thing in a Target parking lot.
Will you kick him out next time you see him?
Next time I see him, like, I'll have to like ask my boss, because it's weird, because he's the guy who.
Do you have to like catch him doing it?
I have to. Yeah, I probably have to catch him doing it, because if I see him and he's not doing anything, he's like just buying stuff, then it seems like rude to like kick him out.
Yeah.
I'd rather like kick him out when I see him like talking to somebody and he's like, "Hey, you should join my team. You should join my club, my pyramid scheme."
You're gonna kick him out. He's like, "You traitor! Yeah. How could you?
I bought you coffee.
I raised you like a son.
You were my prodigal son.
Damn."
You were the one for Amway." It's crazy. I thought, like, the entire month I was just like, maybe this will be something.
Maybe I'll be rich one day.
Yeah, you know, because it was all like broken promises and like half-ass, like just little sprinkles of dreams. Everything was sugar coated completely, but like it was just that one little sentence, that one word is like, "Welcome to Amway."
Fuck.
Everything was just red light alert. Just all right, step back.
You hear that like shattering glass sound, your eyes go.
The problem was, like, I didn't know what Amway was until before, because I was talking to like my friend from college, and he was telling me like, it's like, "Oh, is it Amway? Is it this? Is it this?" And we like, I didn't know any of the companies that he was talking about, and he like told me about them, and he told me what they're doing, and like how they're recruiting people and what their missions look like. And I was like, that one kind of looks similar to the one he showed me, but I'm not sure. And he was like, "Okay, well, if it is, get out of there." I was like, "Well, I'll keep my toes in." See if
Did they have like free donuts or anything for
They
you to
had
steal?
a lot of food.
Damn.
They had a lot of food at their meeting. Like,
I should go to one just for
it
some
was,
food.
but it was like a, you know, like everybody was in suit and ties. If anyone wasn't in,
You had to go in suit and tie?
I had to come in a dress shirt and a tie, and I came in black
Slacks.
jeans. No, black jeans and these shoes, these nasty ass fucking Converse and like Nike shoes. It was just
Free food. Was it good food? What kind of food?
I mean, it was just like, you know, like hot food, like sandwiches and like pizza.
Hey, free food's free food, though.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You think like anyone could have just walked up in there?
I think it was only like a select few, because like they would always check if someone had like a person who invited them. So if you weren't invited by someone, then you couldn't get in. So you need to be like in contact with someone who knows the company in order to get in. That's what the tricky thing was about it, because there was people like at the door. They were like, "Hey, do you know anyone in here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know this so and so." And they're like, "Okay."
Would they check the list or?
I mean, they were like, they'd check and see if like they were present, and then they'd be like, "Okay, go and find them inside." It was crazy, because like and then what they make you do is they like at the other meetings, they have the meetings at like someone else's house. Like they'll have them. Like it'll be maybe like 30, 40 people in this tiny little kitchen, and we're all talking about like
the vision of success.
Right. Everybody's talking about like some inspirational story. Somebody's talking about like how it works, and so like how it works is like the way it's like set up. Everybody's talking about like, okay, you buy such and such product for this much, and you buy. So the products they sell, apparently they sell a whole bunch of like miscellaneous products that like people would buy on a daily basis, like shampoo, vitamins, hair care products, like from cosmetics to furniture. As far as the eye can see, they just buy and sell whatever they could, like an Amazon reseller.
Funny thing is, like, they don't really market it as being any better than any toothpaste or anything, right?
They don't say it's like better than the leading or some would say like they'd get like reviews where it'd be like, oh, this is so much better than like Colgate or Sensodyne or something crazy. So it was just so like bizarre that like I didn't know any of the products or the company name for like a solid month, maybe like a solid month and a half, and I just didn't know because they weren't telling me anything. And up until like this certain point where we were in this meeting, I was like, you know what? I just gotta like I gotta get out of here. I gotta tell somebody like
I'm too deep.
I'm done. Like this is it. Like I'm not putting any money towards anything, because there were a couple meetings where he was just like, "Are you ready to start? Are you ready to start?" I was like,
I don't know.
Not today. Can we try next week?
Damn. There's so many like shady people who do anything to get money, just like that pyramid scheme. But what I've noticed, okay, have you been to Mills Mall recently?
I went yesterday.
Okay. Is it me or have you also noticed that the people who work the stands have been like a much more aggressive at trying to sell you things?
Yeah.
Like there's this by the Rainforest Cafe. There's a guy who does like skin products or whatever, and I was with Soraya, my girlfriend. We were walking past. Out of nowhere, he just comes like up to me. He's like, "Hey, check out this." He starts rubbing shit on my arm, and I was like,
like straight up? Like,
yeah. He's like, "Hey, check out this skin stuff. It's real nice. Look at your skin. Look at your skin. Look at this." And then he starts putting it on my face. I was like, "Okay, what the fuck?" Okay, so he's starting to put it on my face like a cotton swab, and he's like, "Look it, blackhead." I was like, "Okay, that's not a blackhead. That's like specks of dirt or whatever." But and so he's just doing that, and he looked to Saray. He's like, "Look how good his skin looks." She's like, yeah. And of course it's like some random ass product like we never heard of, some weird ass box, random shit.
Is it that like the soap like the soap little stand where they like sell like soap from like the eastern part of the world, and they're like bringing it to the west, and it's part of like it's like sand soap or whatever. It's like black.
It's not soap. It's like in packaging. It's like it looks like lotion, like it's a cream or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. And she started rubbing that on me, and then he started putting it on her face, and I was like, what is happening? And obviously she was not digging that, and so like we were ready to go, and then he's like, here. He's like, open your bag, and he put the fucking thing in my bag, like sneaky little trick like that, I knew what was happening, right? So he put it in my bag. He's like, special deal for you, $40, and of course on the fucking thing it said suggested retail price $120 or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was like, no, I'm fine. I don't have $40 cash on me. And dude, this was the part that did it for me. I was fucking dead. And I was like, no, I don't have $40. He's like, how much you got? I was like, okay.
He's willing to just sell it for whatever.
Take whatever the fuck I got in my pocket. Like, why am I gonna buy this? Like, no. Why would I buy this?
How much you willing to
for
buy
me?
it for? I'll do anything. 15.
Yeah, 20. Like this definitely does not work if you're willing to just change the price. First of all, you went from $120 to $40, and then after that, you cut it. This does not work. Okay, this is like some dollar store lotion.
Gosh.
But yeah, but it was just like crazy. All the tricks like he pulled out to try to get us to do it. Like he put the shit on us. It was just all this pressure. Like you just couldn't say no. You're just stuck doing whatever, giving him money. And it's like, have you ever been to Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah.
It's like that on Hollywood Boulevard too, with people.
I haven't experienced it in Hollywood Boulevard. But.
When I went, okay, I was with my friends, and of course everyone's handing out their mixtape, right? Like, oh, here, check out my mixtape. Got any donations or whatever? Everyone asked for donations. It got to a point where I realized, okay, I can't give everyone a donation.
I'm running out of money.
My poor friend though, he kept giving out donations. He ran out of cash, dude. He was done with money for like until that was the day we were leaving, so we just came home.
Oh, okay.
And he was gonna buy souvenirs and stuff.
Oh man.
But he ran out of money.
Well,
and so he was pissed, bro. I had to buy him like souvenirs so he could like give to his family or whatever. Yeah. I got him. He's my bro, So
yeah.
But it was funny, this one guy, like they'll just start putting it in your hands at some point.
And they just let it go, and
yeah,
like, you have to give me something.
Yeah. And there was this one guy, he said, here, check out my mixtape. You got a donation? And we're like, no, bro, I don't got any donation. He tore that shit right back out my hand. Like, no, it's not a donation. You're going to tear it right back out my hand. Like, you're selling it to me. He's like, okay. He just took him back.
Right. He was just like, it's like, here, please. So, like, I'm trying to give it to you for like $10. I don't have $10. Give it back.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? You're not even going to get your name out like that. And
It sucks.
whatever, dude.
I think, like, what was it? I was in Paris, and I was in Paris, like, last month. Or not last month. 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's a big time difference.
There are so many scammers, like, they crooks.
Yeah.
They're wretched, bro.
I was watching a video on it.
It's ridiculous how crazy they are. Like, pickpocketers, there's, like...
Did you see someone get pickpocketed?
I've seen, like... So, when we got to Paris, we went to the cathedral that was near our hotel, and nearby there were these deaf girls, and they were...
Deaf.
They were trying to, like, ask for petitions and ask people to sign these signatures so they could, like, get something cleared. I don't know what they were doing because I didn't ask, but... When I walked past them, there's this big brick wall, and like written all over it, it's the deaf will pickpocket you. And it's just right there, like they don't see it, and it's just right next to them. It's like, the deaf will pickpocket, watch out for them. And I was like, good thing I didn't talk to them.
Yeah, Jesus.
And then, like in Paris, there's a lot of Nigerian guys who are selling like a whole bunch of like little trinkets and like tiny little Eiffel towers and stuff like that. But they sell it in like, they grab like these huge blankets and they have all this stuff in it that costs like $5 at the souvenir shop, and they're selling it for like $15, which is like what, €20 or something.
Yeah.
But relatively, they just like, they have a whole bunch of them, and they're trying to get like all these like tourists, all these suckers and tourists that are coming in. They're like, oh, that's such a cool trinket, €20. It's like, then they go
in the shop, like,
they get 4 more.
What the hell?
I know, it's crazy. Like, it's absolutely insane. Because when we got there, these guys came up to my brother, and they were like, oh, hey, how are you doing? And they grabbed his hand, and they started tying like this rope to him. And they're like, oh, hey, how you doing? You don't look like you're from here. How you doing? How you been? That Black Power. Hey, that more power to you. I was like, who are these guys? And then they start tying like this rope on him, and he's like, this bracelet I've tied on you, it's a symbol of our unity. That'll be $15.
Your brother's like,
what?
let me get this off real quick.
Absolute hell. Like, take this off. Let's go. My brother was like, hey, I'll give him something. So he pulls out his wallet, and he gives like, he's tearing through like all the
cash.
The euro and cash that he has, and he pulls out a $20 bill, like a $20 US bill. He's like, I don't want to give him that. So he puts that right back in, but the guy goes into his wallet and takes it and dips. I've never seen anybody like run that fast. Like, after I was laughing. I was like, bro, why did you pull the dollar bill out?
Yeah, what the fuck?
It was so bad. But
I bet he learned. I wouldn't even do shit, dude. I wouldn't even have pulled my wallet out.
It was tough.
I'd have been like,
just remembering all the money that was stolen. Like,
you guys had more stolen?
We had more. In Italy, there was this guy who was dressed up like a gladiator, and he asked us to. Our mom was asking to take a picture. I also asked to take a picture with him. I didn't think he was gonna ask for money until like after the fact, and my brother like knew dead giveaway. He was gonna ask for money. He was livid. He was pissed.
Your brother or the guy?
My brother.
Oh, okay.
He was like, no, I don't want to take a picture with him. But he still took a picture, and then afterwards he was like, a little generous tip, please. Anything helps. And he was like, name your price, and it was like $30. I was like, $30 for a photo. And I was hesitant about it, but I didn't have any cash on me, and my brother was the only one with cash, so he had to give up, and he was pissed off the entire day. It sucked, but moral of the story: don't go to Europe with loose cash.
Yeah, all card, dog.
Yes.
Samsung Pay,
Absolutely.
Apple Pay, whatever you gotta do.
All card.
They tried doing that to me at Disneyland too.
Disneyland?
Yeah, I'll put up the picture. Actually, I have the picture. This random guy, fucking, is sitting outside the exit of Disneyland. We walk out, and he's like, "Hey!" And he puts 2 fucking parrots on my hands. He puts one's like laying down, the other one's on my finger. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." And he's like, "Here, take a picture." So Soraya takes a picture, and he's like, "Any donation?" I was like, "Oh no." So he doesn't even say anything. He's just like, takes the bird and like looks at other people. Hey. Like, okay, whatever. I still got my picture, asshole.
Cool.
But yeah, it's just crazy. People will force it on you, like, and try to pressure you to give them money. Yeah. Don't give him nothing, dude. You didn't ask for it.
Scams.
He shouldn't have asked for that picture, so he kind of got himself stuck in it.
I did. I really did. That was a tough situation. So, moral of the story: don't fall for scams. Pyramid schemes suck. Try and stay away from anything that looks like it's remotely close to anything where you work for somebody above you, because
that a regular job.
Oh yeah, yeah, but in a more multi-level marketing way, because that will mess you up for life, and you will be stuck for maybe 50 to 60 years doing nothing but selling products that nobody wants.
Yeah. Or you'll realize it, and now you have a garage full of shit worth thousands of dollars, and you're stuck with it.
You know, the guy that I was talking to, every so often, he'd give me like these books that like they would read, or that they would give to like the recruits, and they'd make us read it. And he'd tell me, the next time we see each other, go and like, I want you to have that book finished so we could talk about it. And I never finished those books.
No.
Never once did I finish those books.
When you kick him out for soliciting, you should bring the books with you.
I'd
They'd be like, you traitor. And you're like, I didn't even read these. Kick him out.
I still have one of them, and it's like, it's in the worst condition right now. So if I give it back to him, it'd be such a bad idea.
Is it like an Amway book, or is
no,
it?
it's like a actual it's a best. I think it's called The Giver. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like that was a good story.
I didn't read
I think I read it in high school.
I didn't read it at all.
It has to do something about like a dystop. I may be totally off on this, but I think it's like a dystopian future where everyone's assigned their job or whatever, this and that, and there's like no creativity in the world or something like that.
Huh.
And there's like one guy called the Giver who has like the knowledge of everything that was the past world and stuff, and some guy breaks away from society and hides and meets the Giver and gets all this knowledge. Or I think it's something like that. Or maybe his job was to be the Giver, and he ran away.
He ran away?
Look it up for yourself. I'm pretty sure I read this book, though. All right, sir. Anything else to say here?
We could talk about the incident.
Oh, your weenie,
the weenie
flash.
The weenie flash.
All right, let them know about your weenie flash.
Oh boy. So it's by popular demand. Been told by a couple of people to talk about this story. So I was at work, and a coworker who also works in the security department, he was heading to lunch, but before he did, he was telling me to go and watch this guy who came into the store, and he didn't seem like your typical like crazy guy. He just seemed off. So while he was on lunch, I was watching him, just making sure he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. He got to the front, and I walked up to the front door, and when he gets to me and he's like just about to leave, he goes and like talks about like, hey man, I went to the men's department and I couldn't find a belt in my size. He's like, you guys just didn't have, like, this man is already, as he's talking to me, like I see like his pants are already about halfway to his thighs. So, and he's got like this really long,
there's
long
sweats
ass
and stuff,
shirt.
right?
Yeah.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
that dude asked me if we had like individual beers, and I was like, no. He looked kind of upset. I was like, I hope this drunk homeless guy does not try to pick a fight with me over this right now. I'm just trying to work. But
trying to get off the Glock. But he came up to me and he was like, I've been using a pair of like this wire. He's been using like twine and wire for like the past like week for like a belt replacement. And he came up to me, he was like, I just really needed a belt my size. You guys didn't have any. Look. And he pulls up his shirt and his pants are already so far down and it's just full-fledged package right out there.
Was he packing?
No. This man is absolutely no. This man was in his mid-40s. He's not packing. This was terrible because it was like 8:30 p.m.
Did you do this? Were you like?
I did a take where I was just.
He didn't seem to notice that his dick was out.
No, he wasn't like phased at all. He knew it was out there, and like I know he could feel the breeze. Like this man is not. Oh my gosh, like he left it out there for like a good 2 seconds, and he pulled it up, and then he just promptly continues with the conversation. He's like, yeah, you guys really didn't have a belt my size. I was so confused why you guys don't have a belt. I was like, bro, if you don't get out of my face.
How long did it take him to leave?
It took him maybe 2 minutes after that because he kept talking about how he doesn't have a belt and how he's been looking for a belt. And I was at the point where I just wanted to punch him in the face. I was at the point where I really I couldn't punch him because you can't punch guests.
Mm-hmm.
But God willing, if your guest shows you your penis, then I'm definitely punching him in the face.
Well, I have a little dick story too. A little dick, huh? I have a dick story too that kind of involves Target. So we were in California not too long ago doing the Disneyland thing.
Yeah.
We were driving we were driving to a Target, and this was my girlfriend's first time ever being to California.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were driving to the Target, and I already knew California's crazy as hell. You know, crazy stuff.
Yes.
And so I was driving by, and there's just this homeless guy walking in the street, like, literally doesn't give a fuck that cars are coming, and he's just walking, like, he's gonna get hit. Like, he's literally gonna get hit, that type of walking in the street.
That kind of crazy.
Yeah, and he's, like, yelling at cars as they're going by and stuff in the middle of the street. And so I wasn't paying attention, but he was on the side of the road or whatever, walking out into the street as, like, I was passing, and my girlfriend's like, oh, okay. And I was like, what? She's like, he just had his dick out. like he had his dick out of his sweats for some reason. He was just walking around in the street.
No.
So many people were just driving by, almost hitting this guy with his fucking dick hanging out. I was like, welcome to California, honey. Like, oh, God. It was so funny. So funny.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
bro. Just, like, walking down the street, like...
With his dick out. Like, I don't know. I didn't get to see it. You know, I was lucky, but...
Yeah, you were the fortunate one.
I was like, honey, was he packing? She's like,
No.
Oh, God. But yes.
Oh, my God. What's crazy is that, like, the encounter that happened like my encounter at Target is we got a pretty good shot of the encounter happening with the cameras.
You could see his dick and everything.
Yeah. So when Jose got back from lunch, he was like, it's like, was it on record? Like, is it on the cameras? And he tried to find it on a good shot, and he was like, I found a good shot, and it was just the whole interaction, just like recorded. And
Is he laughing his ass off?
Dying. He was in the office for maybe like a half hour, just laughing his ass off. I was furious because if it were any different, it would be him who would be flashed instead of me, and I could laugh about it.
That would have been so funny.
That would have been hilarious if that were the case. I would have died laughing, and that would be it.
Yeah, I just hear him now. Sir, your pants are down. That's like how he talks. You know what I'm saying? Oh God.
He'd just, sir, you've got to go.
Yeah.
He'd be the type of guy who'd be like, I can't be having this. He'd be like, sir, you have to leave.
Oh God, that's funny though. All right, sir. Anything else?
That'd be it.
All right, this is a good one. A little over an hour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. This has been Isaac and me again for the Rooftop Podcast.
Good to be here.
Hopefully you guys are in the next one. Share this with your friends. Have some creative friends, or doesn't have to be necessarily a creative thing. If you have like an interesting job, like if you skydive to catch endangered birds out of the sky, and then bring them to captivity to breed them back to population.
That's an interesting job.
Yeah, dude. So you do that. Just bring people on the podcast. Let's build a community, dude. Let's do it.
Build a repertoire for Arizona. Let's build a reputation where Arizona is just like the craziest place to be in, like Vegas, but for creators.
Yeah, not for gambling and
not
horse.
for gambling and addiction and prostitution, but
if you want to do that, just go on the reservation.
Yeah,
I don't know about prostitution, but gambling.
Yeah, that's totally fine. All right.
All right. Thank you, people. We'll see you in the next one.